Okay. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'm going to see if this works instead of doing the phone thing. So, got this going on. Now, so the other day I woke up in the middle of the night. Oh, that's a lovely little hairdo that I got going. Who cares? Who gives a shit? Right? We're going. We're working with this. Okay, so the other night, I woke up in the middle of the night panicking. And I went straight up. I think it's Jim Carrey on the movie 23. I can't remember. I keep using that reference, but he like goes crazy and just starts channeling and writing a bunch of stuff. I mean, he writes the number 23 all over the place. But anyways, reference. I went straight Jim Carrey movie 23 and just started channeling. Like, I mean, I've got massive amounts of channeled pages, and I just went crazy. So what I was writing down was basically about channeling. Okay, so I think I've told you before that everybody's got the clairs, okay? Everybody's got their clairs going on. And we're moving into this space where we're all going to start doing these things and receiving our psychic abilities back because they've been suppressed. And the suppression is not going to happen very much longer because a lot of shit is hitting the fan. So, energetically. So, get that going again. Anyway, so what is happening is there's a lot of energy on the planet where we're being ramped up, okay? And one of those things is this ability, or this connection, I should say, with your higher self. Okay, so when I was channeling, I was very much I kept writing, this is your higher self, this is your higher, and I was freaking out, by the way. Let me see. I wasn't even prepared because I thought maybe I was going to do a test on this, and now I just don't care. I'm just going to run with it. So I went back into a ceremony that I did about 1.5 years ago, and I was getting a lot of energetic downloads from the exact same ceremony. Oh, my children, they're killing me. I need my own office, I think. Like when I do readings and stuff, usually I can get them to like, hey, you've got to go in your, little area or whatever because Mama's got to do, this reading, and they're usually very quiet. But now they think that it's like party time, which is why sometimes I do this either in my car or downstairs in my bedroom. And right now I'm just saying screw it, so we're going to run with it. But just know that my kids are probably going to come out here and drive me crazy, and hopefully I don't have to yell at them as we're going here. Anyway, so I think I told you a few good times before that I was always really afraid of specifically possessions, okay? So I don't know why the possession thing, ever since I was a kid, but I loved scary movies. I wanted to be a movie producer and make scary movies, and a lot of my biggest fear, which was like the exciting part of it, which sounds really demented, but I mean everybody kind of we like going to like horror films and what are they called, like oh my God, I used to haunted houses, things like that during Halloween, and it's exciting. Everybody has fun with that. Well, maybe not everybody, but I did. So, but one of my biggest fears was possession. So I never, ever, ever liked this channeling thing. I don't like I don't like hearing. I told you that. Like, I don't like the clairaudience, and all of us have these things, every single one of them. But there's certain elements that I do not like. I can see ghosts and people all day long. That never bugs me. I could see scary things. I can, whatever, because then it's in front of me and I know where it is. And that never bothers me. But for some reason, I don't like the audio. I don't like it when they kind of creep up on me and kind of talk to me. And I think now that I went back into this kind of zone 2 nights ago. I woke up at like 2 or 3 in the morning. Actually, it was 2 in the morning because I remember looking back up at it, and I was really like, I was having a panic attack, which I never really do anymore. I was feeling really suffocated. I was feeling panic. And I was feeling like something else was talking through me. And all growing up, I don't like the possession thing, and I don't like the way that my body feels. I know this sounds so weird, and let's see if I can like actually tell you guys this without coming across as a crazy person, which I know that's probably very possible anyway. But the way that I feel in my own skin almost, and this has been for the last like maybe 4 to 5 years, when I told you I got really sick, and a lot of this was kind of this floaty feeling, and I did go into that, I think on the last video, or a couple of videos ago, one of the updates about how we're moving towards higher consciousness. Our consciousness is moving higher. And a lot of this has to do with frequency. So we're being moved up with frequency. And so that comes along with this feeling of kind of this woo-woo feeling we talked about. And so I don't like that feeling. And part of channeling, which I don't even like the word channeling, because then it makes it seem like there's somebody else that's coming in. And that very well could be, but I am making sure that it's only my higher self. Like when you channel, make sure that you only bring in your higher self. And so that's been a little bit crazy for me lately. This is my update on what is going on with me, as well as what's going on with the planet. But in my own personal life, it hurts. Like I feel like my body's almost like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a bunch of little tingles and bubbles all over, and it's like pins and needles. It doesn't feel like like I'm in my own body, and I don't like it. Sorry, I'm messing with my computer here because it keeps like going dark on me. And I need to make sure that this is on, which it totally is. Okay, we're good. So I don't like that feeling, and working towards that. And I was talking with a friend this morning who I want to give a shout out to. I love you, Flo. And we were talking about, because she kind of did this a few days ago as well, which is very odd to me that she kind of went back into this zone where she was getting flashbacks of kind of getting pulled into the things that that we haven't dealt with before. And I feel like this is collectively we're doing this, and we're also doing this on a individual level. And so this is part of that purge that I was talking about, but man, it's getting rough. Like I just feel it like in my muscles, in my bones, like everything. I felt like I was shaking. And I did that, you know, in this kind of journey that I did a while back, the spiritual journey. And so I just shook. And what I learned was animals, by a very special shaman. I call her shaman. She says she's not, but she totally is. Anyway, animals shake. Like when they're chased, like when a gazelle is chased by a lion, you know, and then hopefully, you know, it doesn't get caught, obviously, because if it does get caught, it's eaten. But if it doesn't get caught, then it shakes for like 2 hours. It just shakes, and kind of shakes everything off, and all that trauma, and we hold on to it. You know, so what was happening was I went back into this state where I was just shaking, and I couldn't, I just can't get rid of it. So it's almost like our entire collective is going through this, trying to purge and get rid of stuff, and I didn't understand what that really meant. And I still don't understand it completely, so let's just not pretend here that I know all, because I don't know shit, and I'm really trying to work on that and get to the point where you know, I understand my higher self, and I think that's what we're all kind of doing, in understanding each other and loving each other and not being angry with each other anymore, and kind of shaking off all this negative crappy feeling, and letting go. And that's one thing that I kept telling myself to let go. And there's this whole system with, you know, I've been telling myself this for years, you just have to let go, you have to let go. But then on the other end, it's like as above, so below, as within, so without. So, you know, everything can be kind of mirrored and twisted backwards so that you can see what's happening. There's also this really deep level of hanging on, like hanging on to the faith, hanging on to knowing, hanging on to who you are as an individual, as well as a collective. So we're really kind of coming all together during this time. And because, like I said the last time, or a few times before, we broke apart to figure out who we are, on an individual basis, all these little aspects of ourselves. And now, during this shift, and I feel like this shift is going to happen for maybe a few more years, but like I said, I don't know anything about time and space, because time and space are very, very different. I always say it doesn't exist. It kind of does, but it's very skewed. So I'm giving the time frame of maybe the next few years. I'll say the next few years. But within the next couple of months, I think I really feel it, and it hurts. And so I want to let you know, if you're feeling that, you're not alone, because I have talked to a couple of other people that are feeling the same way. So it is, in a couple of my clients too. And so it is not just you. We're really all collectively and individually feeling this shift, and it hurts. My body hurts. And this is not a bad thing. So what I was getting when I was downloading and writing, like I was going crazy, is to let go of fear and to hold on to faith, or hold on to my knowing of what's coming. And that's really exciting. Hi, Halo. My little Riz, my little Halo wants to say hi. Say hi, Halo. Hi. Okay. You gotta go on. I got my Halo and my Basha over there. And Bashi, here, let's see if we can. There, she just likes to hang out. My puppies. So anyway, just this believing in yourself. And like I said before, it's kind of letting go of this belief and hanging on to knowing. And that comes from within. So belief is kind of almost like outside of yourself, and knowing is the within, okay? Let's see. Let me see if I can read you some of this. Some of it doesn't make sense. I mean, it won't make sense to you. It makes sense to me. So of what I was channeling, I mean, it was everywhere. So it says, how far will you go to help people let go of fear? You're a channel. Awaken, listen to the sound. So I told you I don't like listening. I don't like hearing the sound. So I am learning to I have to let go of that fear, and be okay with speaking with my higher self, and really kind of going within and getting a grasp on that. And it does, like I did write, my higher self wrote, if you want the control, you can ask for it. Just let it go. So what that means you are good enough. Stop worrying about what anyone says. So here I am just spilling out my guts because, it doesn't matter. So I think we all are channels. And we are definitely receiving a lot of our gifts and getting to the point where we're going to get all of these things back. So let's see, what else did I write here? I mean, it's just everywhere. It's everywhere. Remember to journal. Oh my goodness, this is a big one. So I am terrible, especially in your dreams. I've always talked to, I feel like such a hypocrite when I do readings, because I'm always like, you need to journal when you wake up, and you need to pay attention to your dreams, and then write them down and blah blah blah. I suck at that. Okay, so I'm just gonna be quite honest and let you know that I am terrible. I'm putting my hair back because this is driving me nuts. Okay, so there we go. I am terrible about it. I am the worst person about journaling. So I had to wake up in, like I said, in the middle of the night, and I looked at the time, and it was 3:33. So, I mean, I have it written down. I don't know if you can see that, but right there it says 3:33, and I kept telling myself, at 4 o'clock you're going to be okay. At 4 o'clock, and sure enough, at 4 o'clock I finally fell asleep. So this was about 2 hours of me losing my shit, and just channeling and writing down a bunch of stuff and shaking and trying to go within. And that's why I'm so scattered. Man, I'm all over the place today. But I just wanted to, I think part of it is that I'm trying to like do this while my kids are in their own little places, because this morning I also am homeschooling my youngest. And my other two are home being homeschooled by their teachers, thank God, because I am not I'm not one to be able to do this whole education thing. I can teach people to, go within and try to listen to themselves and, meditate and do these things, but I definitely cannot teach people about math and, science and history, because, in all fairness, that's all going to change, my dears. That's all going to change. So I'm kind of one to just be like, you learn what you need to learn at school and then, get over it, because we're moving on. So anyway, okay, let's see. I've got so many things that I've got on here. I'm a channel, I'm a channel. I'm your higher self. Trust yourself. It is me. Okay, so you can hear your own voice. This is what I hear, is I was hearing my own voice. And usually when I am talking to, or when I'm channeling, or not channeling, I hate the word channeling, when I'm doing readings, okay, which yes, technically it is channeling, but I just don't like calling it that, because I've been freaked out ever since I was a kid about this whole thing. So I guess that all these years it's made me feel like, channeling is bad. And now I'm starting to learn, oh shit, that's what I've been doing. And that is claircognizance, which we have talked about before. In my opinion, and I could be completely wrong, but I'm just starting to learn from doing all of this, that claircognizance, the knowing, is a part of that is channeling. And that's really kind of what I was downloading the other day. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know why I just don't like that word. And it bugs me. It really bugs me. But spilling my guts out, because, how are we going to move up and help each other if we can't just talk and be real with each other? So I'm going to have to get more clear on this and do more meditations. I also wrote that down. So to meditate and to be calm within yourself, and to really focus on sounds. Okay, so like I have my bowls. I love my bowls sounds, and they kind of just tone you into that frequency that you need in order to get into that meditative state. So I hear so often that when my clients are like, well, I can't focus. I can't focus, and I can't, make my mind go blank. One of the easiest things to do is to do either guided meditations, and I've got a ton. I can put them in the description. And I have tones. The tones really help, and that's that frequency of 432 hertz. And there's different ones too. It's not just 432. I mean, there's like miracle tones. There's all these other tones. So it's not just 432. That's just my favorite one. That's the love frequency. So, but that is a way to, it almost like puts you into the state of hypnosis. And that is the perfect thing to do. And really, I think I've talked to you about this before, but being able to have an instrument in front of you is the best way to do it. Now, if you cannot do that, then the other way to do that is to, I've got a few guided meditations, like I said, and then some of those, I think 2 of them maybe, have 432 hertz. And there are others all over the place, but to, and you put your headphones in, and it kind of links up your brain waves and helps you to get into that state of meditation without having to work so hard. So that is a huge way to get in touch with your higher self. And then having a notebook next to you when you wake up in the morning, because there are so many times when, and I know that it's not just me, because I've talked to so many of my clients about this too. When they wake up in the morning, it's like the second that you open your eyes, you better be starting to write stuff down, because if you don't, you're going to forget it within 5 minutes. And I've said that a million times. I'm like, I'll remember this all day long. It's totally like, it's so vivid and everything's so wonderful. And I know that I'm going to remember this. And 5 minutes after opening my eyes, it is gone. So you just write down all the craziness, and then you can look that stuff up later if you needed to. So try to do that. Try the tones. I just got my son and my daughter, so we've got drums. We've got the singing bowls, the crystal bowls, and now I just got not a hand pan, God, I would love a hand pan, but a steel tongue drum. So I got one of those, and I think I got it for like $75, $100 or something, and he's already learning to do Twinkle Twinkle Little Star on it, and he's loving it. So, but the tones of that bring up your vibration with it because you're right in front of it. So it's literally vibrating right next to you and then moving up your cells and your consciousness. So that is the best way to do it. And you know what? If you got little kids at home, or even if you're by yourself, who gives a shit? Go and get you some instruments and just start messing around. I suck at it, but I mean, we have a blast just sitting here, and we could sit here for hours on end and just make a little powwow in my living room with all of the kids, and we're having a good old time. And then afterwards, it's like you feel so much more clear, and everybody's happy and calm. EMF protectors, I just got a few, and I don't even know if it's like a good thing to say. Anyways, I think I'm just fine with saying who it is, but I think it's called, oh my goodness, let me check because I'm terrible with this, but to EMF harmonized. So EMF harmonized, and I got that from listening to a few people on my YouTube channel. Michael Jaco is one of them. I really love him, but there's a few others, and once in a while I'll tune in to them, and they've got they're always talking about this EMF harmonized. And this is the odd thing. Now, I cannot tell you if this is what did it or not, because I mean, clearly there's things like to clear out your pineal gland and to help you get rid of toxins in your body. And one of those things that I've done a long time ago, sorry, I've got stuff everywhere, is I got a reverse osmosis water system, because clearly the fluoride and stuff in your water, it calcifies your pineal gland. And this is very controversial, so I don't do I can't really say the word. I don't do those in my family, but that is just my preference, because I feel like that is a toxin. There's a lot of toxins in there, and those definitely, in my opinion, mess with your pineal gland. And the ones that are coming out nowadays, I'm really nervous about. So that's just me. I don't want to make a big old fuss about that, because people got their own opinions, and you're allowed to have your own opinion, and there's no judgment. So, but anyway, for some odd reason, I got these EMF harmonized thing, and they're like little discs and stuff, and you put them on your computer, you can put them on your phone, and then I've got one on my wrist, and I was wearing that night that I went back into this whole journey and went completely crazy and started channeling a bunch. And like I said, I channel anyway. Don't like that word, but that's what I do. And claircognizance, basically, taken to the next level. And but I don't know if that had anything to do with it or not, but that was the first night that I wore the bracelet to sleep. So I mean, I don't know. There could be. I mean, there's frequencies all over your house that are kind of with radiation and all this stuff. And oddly, so when I was going through that big scare, when I was really sick, and they were like, oh, it's hypoglycemia, all this crazy stuff. I fixed, because I worked with he's not oh my goodness, not a chiropractor. I'm losing my mind. Anyway, holistic doctor. Anyway, they were doing blood work and stuff, and I was fixing everything on the board, okay? But for some weird reason, I could not fix the thickness of my blood, which is very weird. And yes, I live in Colorado, okay? And so we're higher up in the mountains, And so there's that. And so we're at higher altitude, and I mean, there's a lot of different factors. At that point in time, I was smoking. That was my biggest thing. I have been smoke-free for a year now, which is very exciting. And I was hiding it. So, you know, for all those who were like, oh, I didn't know you smoked. Yeah, I totally hid it. And I thought that I hid it really well, but apparently not. So anyway, I have been smoke-free for a year, but even after I stopped smoking, they were checking my blood levels as far as my blood being too thick, basically, and it wasn't stopping it. And so then I started kind of looking into these things, and it kind of explains how your blood, your cells clump together with the technology around. And so I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I'm kind of just guessing on that one. I'm kind of getting, you know, little woo-woos on that one. So don't know if that actually helped or not. I've only had it for, you know, a few days now, but so far I really do feel, you know, feel the effects, because, you know, who wakes up in the middle of the night channeling for 2 hours and going on this whole huge journey? I mean, maybe you will too. So we'll see. Anyway, I wanted to give you those few things, and to let you know that you are not the only ones. If you're feeling this way, which I know that from so many clients that I've talked to, yeah, I mean, it's painful right now. I don't know what it is. Well, I do, you know, we're shifting. I can say that, but I don't know, you know, all of the details of that, and nor do I care. What I do know is that we are moving up in frequency. We are going to move, we're kind of moving into a golden age. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow. I think it's going to take a few years before we're actually seeing some major effects. But I do know that for the next couple of months, I want to say, shit is going to hit the fan. And the crazier it gets, the better. I always say that. And this is very, very exciting, because it means that we are moving past our fear. And I mean, believe me, I was shaking. I was so much in fear. And we're moving past that. But in order to do that, you have to face your fears, right? You have to feel your fear in order to be like, oh. And while I'm in this kind of zone where I'm shaking and so afraid, I kept telling myself, you know what, you've been here before. Everything is fine. You've been here before. Breathe. And I think that's what the main goal of me talking for 27 minutes is in this one. So anyway, I love you all. I appreciate you. I'm very excited to go through this with you, and I will let you know more on this channeling thing. I think that was the biggest thing, that I finally had to get on here and be like, hey, you know, yeah, we're channeling. I'm channeling, and I never wanted to actually admit that, so I'm admitting that to move on and move past this, and then get to the point where, who knows, maybe some better stuff will come through, some good stuff will come through, because I get some awesome things from my clients, and I've never really tried doing that on a bigger scale. And I would love to help humanity, you know, when it comes to that. So just knowing that you are totally on the right track, everything is well and good, and yeah, we're shifting. This is exciting. Okay, lots of love. I will see you in the next video, and welcome to your ascension.